Hi, I'm Ryan Fox with Huston-Fox Financial Advisory Services here with Community Media's Open House. Today is our Christmas special on the joy of giving, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to Torren Ecker, who's a local attorney with Becker Strausbaugh in Hanover. A little bit about Mr. Ecker is he's an active community member in a number of ways, a father and a husband. He's a graduate of the prestigious George Mason Law School. Is that right?
Well, undergrad. I went to George Mason undergrad, Thomas Cooley Law School.
I was very close because Thomas Cooley's in Michigan.
It is.
And I saw that somewhere. So anyway, thank you for correcting me. It's good to have an attorney in the house. And most importantly, without any question, he puts up wonderful Christmas lights that if you have a chance, it's really amazing what he's done, and I can see them from my front porch. Really nice job. It takes a lot of effort, and it looks very, very nice. Torren, as we enter the Christmas season, would you please share some thoughts with us on things that you're thankful for?
Well, you know, obviously I have a very young family, and I'm very thankful for my family. You know, I love my kids. We're getting to that time where Christmas is about, you know, is the perfect time.
Yeah.
You know, they're 2 and 5, so we're kind of in the heyday of Santa and you know, all that fun time. I have a really strong network of family and friends. It's really what brought me back to this area. You know, I went to school everywhere else. I grew up in York County in Spring Grove, but went to college everywhere else. But my wife and I both decided we're going to come back here. So we're really thankful for we're thankful for our family and the community that we live in, for sure.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it really is a fun time. In fact, we had some other neighbors just yesterday that their children are still Santa believers, thankfully, as is ours.
Yeah.
And I called and I was Santa Claus for them again.
Oh,
so
nice.
If you ever need that, let me know. But it was a blast. It's fun. Someday at those kids' wedding, we're going to expose who Santa really was to them those years.
That'll be a great story.
How about within the community? I know you're very active in a number of ways, which is fantastic. We need more people to get involved in more organizations. I know time is limited with families, with work, things like that. But clearly, your role at Becker Strausbaugh, you're encouraged to do those things.
Sure.
What sort of things are you involved in?
Sure. So real early on, in fact, in my interview, I was told, well, you know, Torren, we're going to want you to be involved in a couple of boards. And I didn't even know what a board was at the time. So from there, I got involved with the Hanover Chamber of Commerce. Seemed like a natural fit. And as part of that, I got involved with a new group called the Hanover Young Professionals. It was kind of starting off. So I got involved with that, and used that to kind of lead me to other organizations. So now I'm involved with the Hanover Rotary Club. I'm actually president-elect of the Hanover Rotary Club.
Fantastic.
I'm involved with the East Berlin Community Center, and I also help out the kids' schools, obviously, you know, those are the big organizations that I'm involved with. To your point, I think it's really important that people get involved in their community, because, quite honestly, you know, people are busier now, it seems, and don't take the time, and that's something that me and my family, you know, really appreciate. You know, I might not be home every night at 5 o'clock.
Sure.
But they understand that these things are important too.
Yeah. East Berlin Community Center. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure.
What do you do there?
Yeah. So it's a community center in East Berlin that offers all kinds of different activities, from yoga to childcare to skills, and we actually just went to they had a Christmas festival there this past Friday.
Great.
So they do all kinds of things for the community. So my role is to sit on that board as the representative from Hamilton Township.
Great.
And you know, because it's kind of the surrounding community helps to contribute to that organization. So I help represent Hamilton Township, and I help out with different things. The other day we were helping. They do at the Christmas festival. They put they take this tour, you know, with Mrs. Claus through East Berlin. So I was helping people on the wagon. So that was it's just simple stuff like that. I mean, it's not difficult. It doesn't cost me any money. You know, in fact, the kids get to go and hang out with Santa for the night. So those are the things that you know, helping out is also fun too.
So if they would have fallen off the wagon there, they had an attorney to represent them.
Yeah, I guess so.
Very, very
so maybe that's really why I was there. I don't know.
No, I'm just. That was hard to resist. So how about for 2018, if you could look ahead in a little crystal ball and shake it up, what would be some things that give you optimism or some concerns maybe that you'd fix at any level? What do you see into the future?
Sure. You know, looking forward, you know, all I can hope for is affect my life and the people that I surround myself with. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to be, you know, get to have an impact on people's daily lives through what I do. You know, my big thing is just to promote, you know, respect to one another is a big thing.
Sure.
And, you know, we live in times where, you know, there's a lot of vitriol out there in the news or in, you know, all the different sectors. And I think it's important in our individual lives to promote respect to one another. And, you know, I hope to continue that through the new year. And you know, it's as I get older and, you know, my life changes, you know, year to year. I don't know what the next year has in store for me, but I look to expand my, you know, my business and look for other opportunities as well as we move forward.
Yeah, it really seems like if you look at the globe right now, everyone's either North Pole or South Pole.
Exactly.
We need to move back towards the equator.
Sure.
You know, kind of warm up from the frozen tundra and kind of come together. I agree with you. That's a good point. So how about Becker and Strausbaugh? Sure. Tell us a little bit about law firm.
Sure. So I've been there almost 7 years now. I got out of law school and went straight into practice with Becker and Strausbaugh. There's 3 attorneys, Art Becker and Scott Strausbaugh and myself. I'm not on the billboard yet, but that being said,
Is your name on the sign?
It's on the sign.
All right.
Yeah. Although people get confused with Becker and Ecker, but in any event, you know, I've been there for, like I said, 7 years. We're a general practice firm, primarily focus in on civil litigation. I do some bankruptcy things to help those folks out and construction litigation, but a little bit of everything. Every day is kind of a new adventure in our office. Sure. And I just like to research and figure things out. And early on in my practice, I was told you're going to learn all kinds of, you're going to touch all these different areas, and I was kind of, you know, I skeptical a little bit of that, but it's so true. I mean, it's a great career to learn a lot about a lot of different things. So,
has the legal profession changed in the last 10 years?
Well, I don't know that I'd be the expert on that. For me, I wouldn't say it has, but I can tell you, within our office, it sure has.
Okay.
You know, with the 2 gentlemen that I've practiced with, they're both, you know, 20 plus years of practice, and you know, when I first got there, we had 1 internet computer.
Wow.
So, which was a little bit behind the times, and that
Sure.
so that they sped up with, you know, the modern technology world very quickly. But that's an example of how everything nowadays is kind of, you know, becoming more technologically advanced, and
Sure.
And we still have typewriters because
Sure.
they're still necessary at times. But
Absolutely.
But you know, I would say, like most careers or most jobs, it's technology is changing and growing and becoming more and more, you know, impactful on the job.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Well, I very much appreciate your time coming today, Torren, the whole way from Hanover here to Gettysburg. It's a wonderful tribute to your employer that they encourage you to get involved in the community.
Absolutely.
And, you know, and that's one thing we're seeing now more and more. It seems like fewer and fewer people have the time to do it. People like Torren are taking the time to do it in spite of young families, of all these other commitments, putting up these massive, beautiful Christmas displays, things like that. So, you know, take that as a cue. We should all continue to stay involved. And Torren here at Becker and Strausbaugh is someone who is trustworthy and committed to the legal community. If you're looking for someone, he'd be someone, you know, worth considering, you know, as someone to represent you too over time. Torren, thanks again for joining us here on Community Media's Open House.
Thanks for having me.
Merry Christmas to you, your family. Your green sweater and red tie are perfect. I just noticed it. I don't have mine on. Any closing things you'd like to say?
I'd just like to thank you for having me.
Sure.
And you know, I appreciate you taking the time to get to know me. And you know, if I can help anybody out, whether it be in the legal world or in the community, I'd be happy to do that.
Well said.